Welcome back. So this is another result of a little challenge. So in this one, I wanted you to check who the coffee is for manually. So instead of doing it like we've had here with make coffee and we enter Amy, instead what we would do is we check for the name. So here I'm going to create a var name and this will be read ln. So who is this coffee for? And then we just pass name directly inside of here like this. Okay, so now these other people I can get rid of for now because we're just going to use the name with read ln. So for now we can make it a val so that the compiler doesn't complain anymore. And now let's run it. And we can see it doesn't even say anything. We should add a print statement that says enter the name of the coffee drinker. So I'm just gonna say Dennis, and it says coffee with 1 spoon of sugar for Dennis. But we don't know how many spoons Dennis wanted, so we don't have that input yet. So what we can do is we can go ahead and state something like println who is this coffee for? And then we read whatever the user has entered. And then we have another println statement and we say how many pieces of sugar do you want? Or does he want or she want? Or how many pieces of sugar should I put in or something like that. So these are just details, right? This will be sugar count. And sugar count should also be read by our console. Now the next thing is we can go ahead and convert sugar count into a integer because that's what this make coffee needs. All right, because we are comparing here how many pieces it is. That's why we need it to be an integer. We cannot have it as a string. I can just go ahead and create another sugar count variable, sugar count int, which will take the sugar count and convert it into an integer like so. And then we can pass our sugar count int in here. So into make coffee. Instead of using a default sugar count, we can just go ahead and enter the coffee, the number ourselves. So how many pieces of sugar do you want? Will be the question. We get the input of the user and then we convert it into an integer and store it inside sugar count. So let's run this code. So who is this coffee for? I'm going to say Dennis. How many pieces of sugar do you want? I'm going to say 0. And it says coffee with no sugar for Dennis. And that's pretty much our little application already. I hope you could actually fix it yourself or write the code yourself. So now what we can do is we can actually give out the coffee, or we can even create a function that makes sure that we constantly ask again and again until the user doesn't want to create any coffee anymore. So what our coffee machine now is limited to is just making one piece of coffee at once. But if somebody goes to the coffee machine and wants to get a coffee for himself, coffee for a friend or a colleague or so, they can't do it with our function yet, at least not in a sequential manner. They have to wait until the first coffee is done, then they have to create another coffee. So we're going to see how to fix that in the next video.